Hi friends, in this video, we are going to learn about one of the shift and schedule module feature, that is shift schedule, its practical applications and its configuration. Basic requirement: time and attendance license. Consider a scenario. Nowadays, companies require 24/7 working conditions to get maximum output and productivity. And so, they allot shifts to employee for covering 24 hours duration. So, it's important to configure shifts according to the organization's requirement. Shift timing is deciding factor for marking presence or absence of an employee. It also keeps record of minimum working hours of an employee. Let us start with the configuration. We will complete the configuration in 3 steps. Configure shift, create shift schedule, assign shift schedule to user and process monthly schedule. Let us start with the first step. Go to Shift and Schedule module, followed by Shift Configuration. Click on plus icon to add a new shift. Assign new ID and name as required to the shift. Go to the shift type. There are 3 shift types available. Normal, it allows 1 week off within a week. Field break, it allows break off around 20 days, which can be given after working period of 2 months. Rest day, it allows 1 week off for rest after 10 to 12 working days. We will select shift type as normal. Assign the shift timing, that is start time and end time, in HHMM format. We will assign start time as 9 hours and end time as 18 hours. Shift duration will be automatically calculated based on start and end time. Now go to Minimum Required Working Hours section. Assign time for half day in HHMM format. We will assign 4 hours in this case. Minimum Required Working Hours for half day specifies the minimum time required to mark half day present. Similarly, assign time for full day in HHMM format. We will assign 8 hours in this case. This specifies the minimum time required to mark full day present. Check minimum hours required within shift duration flag if required. If minimum hours required within shift duration flag is checked, then minimum working hours for full day and half day should fall within the shift working time to mark employees' presence. Now we will configure deviation for shift start and end times. Consider an example: company having shift duration as 9 to 18 hours. Minimum work hours required for full day is 8 hours. Minimum work hours required for half day is 4 hours. If the employee enters the office with in punch at 10 hours and out punch at 19 hours. Employee's total working hours duration is 9 hours from 10 hours to 19 hours, which are not within shift hours, that is 9 to 18 hours. Hence, employee will be marked absent for first half and present for second half. Consider an example. Company having shift duration as 9 to 18 hours. Minimum work hours required for full day is 8 hours. Minimum work hours required for half day is 4 hours. Deviation from shift start is 60 minutes. Deviation from shift end is 60 minutes. If the employee enters the office with in punch at 10 hours and out punch at 19 hours, considering the start and end deviation, eligible working hours are 8 hours to 19 hours. Employee working hours are within the shift duration, considering deviations and late-in not applicable. Hence, employee will be marked present for full day. We will configure 60 minutes time for deviation from shift start. Similarly, configure 60 minutes time for deviation from shift end. We can configure maximum deviation of 999 minutes. Check shift allowance flag if required. If shift allowance flag is checked, shift allowance is considered in the salary calculation. Now go to break details section. Assign the break timings, that is start time and end time, in HHMM format. We will assign start time as 13 hours and end time as 14 hours. Break duration will be automatically calculated based on that. Similarly, shift duration will also be updated considering the break duration. Check break deviation allowed flag if required. If break deviation allowed flag is checked, an employee will be allowed to take break at any time in a day. Go to grace time details section. Check include grace time in working hours flag if required. If include grace time in working hours flag is checked, in this case, shift assigned to employee is from 9 to 18. If employee comes at 9:15 and leaves office at 18, he has worked for 8 hours 45 minutes. As he came within the grace time, the system will mark him as present even if he has not completed minimum 8 hours work required, as system includes 15 minutes in work hours. If include grace time in working hours flag remains unchecked, in this case, shift assigned to employee is from 9 to 18. If employee comes at 9:15, he must work till 18:15 to fulfill minimum requirement of 8 work hours to be marked present. Configure time in minutes for grace time for shift late in. Grace time for shift late in minutes. Specify the grace time in minutes for in punch at the start of the shift. Check overlap grace time with shift late in flag if required. If overlap grace time with shift late in flag is checked, it includes grace time with shift late in time. Consider an example. Shift time from 9 to 18 with grace time allowed as 10 minutes and user in punch at 9:15. If overlap grace time with shift late in flag is checked, user will be marked 5 minutes late in late in column. If overlap grace time with shift late in flag remains unchecked, user will be marked 15 minutes late in late in column. Configure time in minutes for grace time for shift early out. Grace time for shift early out specifies the grace time in minutes for out punch at the end of the shift. Check overlap grace time with shift early out flag if required. If overlap grace time with shift early out flag is checked, it includes grace time with shift early out time. Consider an example. Shift time from 9 to 18 with grace time allowed as 10 minutes and user out punch at 17:45. If overlap grace time with shift early out flag is checked, user will be marked 5 minutes early out in early out column. If overlap grace time with shift early out flag remains unchecked, user will be marked 15 minutes early out in early out column. Grace time for break late in and break early out will work like grace time for shift late in and shift early out. Save the configuration. Likewise, we can create maximum of 99 shifts. This completes the first step. Let us move on to the second step to create shift schedule. Go to shift schedule and click on plus icon to add a new shift schedule. Give the name of shift schedule as required. Shift schedule ID is system generated and cannot be edited by the user. Click on calendar icon and assign the start date and month as required. Go to Shift 1 and check the active flag to activate Shift 1. Go to Shift column and select the shift from pick list for shift masters. Shift ID, name, timings, type will appear for the same. Go to repeat shift in days column and assign days as required. Repeat shift in days specifies the number of days for which selected shift is continuously repeated. Likewise, we can add 32 shifts in a single shift schedule. Click on tick mark to add the shift in shift schedule. Go to Off Day Configuration section. Off Day Configuration allows us to set off days, week offs, and week off rotation as required. Check Auto Week Off Assignment flag if required. If Auto Week Off Assignment flag is checked, we can assign week off in the shift schedule on weekly basis or monthly basis. Auto week off assignment assigns week offs automatically on the day on which user is found absent when he has worked additional on predefined week offs. Go to Off Day 1 and select Off Day from drop-down list of weekdays. Similarly, select Off Day 2 from the drop-down list of weekdays if required. Check Off Day 2 on Weeks flag if required. We can check the flag for the weeks in which week of 2 is to be assigned. Check Enable flag in Week of Rotation section if required and assign a rotation count in 7 to 99 days. If Week of Rotation flag is checked, week off will be rotated after specified number of days in rotation count. Note that if Week of Rotation flag is enabled, then Off Day 2 on weeks get disabled. Go to Shift Base Access Rules section. Check Allow Access in Multiple Shifts flag. If Allowed Access in Multiple Shift flag is checked, it allows the user to work in any of the shifts from the shift schedule. Check Deny Access on Week Off flag if required. If this flag is enabled, user will be denied access on week off days. Similarly, check Deny Access on Holiday, Field Break, Rest Day as required. Save the shift schedule. This completes the second step. Let us move on to the third step to assign shift schedule to the user and process the monthly schedule. Go to the Users module followed by User List and select a user. Go to Access Control section followed by Basic tab. Select Shift Schedule which we have created in the second step from the drop-down list. Start Shift will be the shift which we have created in first step from the assigned shift schedule. If multiple shifts are configured in an assigned shift schedule, then we can select the Start Shift as required from the drop-down list. Save the configuration. Go to Shift and Schedule module followed by Process followed by Monthly schedule. Select the month year for which you want to process the schedule. If Overwrite Existing Schedule flag is checked, then it overrides the shift schedule already assigned by the earlier process. Select the user from the drop-down list. We will select user-wise in our case. Select the user from the pick list for all users. Click on Process button to assign the monthly schedule for the selected month year to the user. We can verify the assigned shift schedule to the user from Utilities followed by Monthly shift schedule. Select the user from pick list for user. Select attendance period as required. After selecting the user and attendance period, we can view and verify the assigned shift schedule to the user. This completes the entire configuration. Thank you for watching this video. For further queries, please contact Matrix Technical Support Team.